Hi, this is Chris with a K here from the Thoughts and Theories podcast. And if you haven't heard about Anchor, it is hands down the easiest way to start a podcast. And I'll explain to you in five very good reasons why that claim is solid. One, it's free, completely free. My favorite four-letter F word. Who does not like the word free? I don't know nobody who doesn't like it. If you don't, what's wrong with you, right? Two, the tools Anchor allows you to record and edit your podcast from your computer and your phone. So this thing can be mobile for you. Three, Anchor is going to do all the distribution for your podcast. So you can put your podcast on major platforms such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. Four, you're eligible to make money from your podcast. Something about getting paid to talk about what you want to talk about. Sounds like a deal to me. And five, it is a one-stop shop. So everything you need to make a podcast, you can get on Anchor. So all you have to do is download Anchor for free through the app. Or you can go to anchor.fm to get started. That's it. It's super simple. That's all. So don't miss out on this great opportunity. Take advantage and start your podcast life today.
But we talking about our thoughts and theories, thoughts and theories, thoughts and theories, thoughts. But we talking about our thoughts and theories, thoughts and theories, thoughts and theories, thoughts and theories.
Hey y'all, welcome to episode 5, or 3 plus 2, or 4 plus 1, or 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, or 3 plus 3 minus 1. However you like to do the mathematics to arrive to number 5, that's exactly what episode this is. So yeah, welcome. And if it's your first time, please make sure you stop what you're doing. There should be a link somewhere that goes by the name of www.chrisative.com, spelled Krisative. It's just my way of spelling creative and putting my name in it at the same time. That's it. If you click on that link, it will allow you to connect with me on my social media platforms such as YouTube and Instagram, which is the other two platforms I'm on right now. And then it gives you access to other ways and methods to listen to this podcast. I'm on Spotify, Apple Music, Google Music, and other platforms I never knew existed, but they have podcast streaming. So make sure you follow me on all those, as well as subscribe, follow, and definitely download the Anchor app, which is the app I use to record these podcasts, and it's absolutely free. So the app's free, record the podcast free. You can actually get paid to record podcasts too. It's pretty cool. And you're able to do this feature, which I love the most. It's called voice message. So basically what it does, you can record a voice message, but you have to have an Anchor app, which is free, and you can send that voice message to me. And the voice message could be about anything. It could be about what I discussed in this podcast, a random question, or how you doing, Chris, when I have a conversation. Whatever the case may be, you can do that by leaving me a voice message, and it's free. I like that word a lot. But definitely, if you don't see a link or anything down below, or if you're not using the Anchor app, please download it. But definitely go to Krisative.com. And lastly, I did launch a t-shirt store. So I have a online t-shirt store, and the reason why I created, just to be quick, is the fact that I realized as I go through my life, I learn lessons, come up with catchy phrases and stuff like that, and I thought it would be awesome if I could take them and plaster them all over t-shirts, so you guys could take a piece of my journey with you wherever you are. It's pretty cool. And the cool thing about it is lessons I learned that can be impactful and mean a lot to you, or maybe just you like a good laugh, so they're great, so support me. That'll definitely mean so much. You can support me the freeway by following me on all the platforms, like Instagram, subscribe to my YouTube, follow me here on Anchor, or you can support me financially. I do have a donation link, or you can buy a t-shirt. Whichever the case may be, I would definitely appreciate it. Now, to get on to our podcast, today's episode, we're going to be talking about this amazing word called happiness. Oh my gosh. That's a word that I'm pretty sure a lot of you that are listening are like, I wish I can have a whole lot, not just a little bit, a whole lot of that in my life right now, right? Yeah, right. So basically, as if you guys didn't already hear, like I started a podcast off coming up with different math equations that led to number 5. And the reason why I do that is to kind of just give an example of a point that, the goal is to get to number 5, but there's different ways to arrive to it, as well as happiness. One word, but it has so many different meanings to so many different people, right? But I'm going to give you my take on the word happiness, and then I definitely want to hear your take. That's why I keep talking about the voice messages. Please send me a voice message. Do not be scared. It doesn't get heard by anybody but me. That's the cool thing about it. But my definition of the word happiness is basically when you're in a mood or state where you're in a mood that you're feeling good and winning, or you feel like winning. And that's literally as simple as it is. It's happiness to me. It's a mood. It's an emotion, right? Everybody wants to feel like they're winning. Everybody wants to feel good. That's what society programs us to, that if we're not winning or if we're not feeling good, there must be something wrong with life. But the truth about life is you're not always going to be happy. You're not always going to be happy. You're going to have some sad moments. That's why there's other emotions such as sad or down and stuff like that, or feeling all right, neutral, But when it comes to life, majority of the time, you do want to be happy. And this is something I want to break to you guys. Happiness is an emotion that usually is situational, but it's something that, if you want true happiness, it comes from the inside and not the outside. We are taught so much in society that happiness should come from external things. So if we think of the word happiness, we usually relate it, it's synonymous with the word success. And success to a lot of people means a lot of dollar bills, dollar signs in their bank accounts. But the reason why you do not want to use that as your measure or standard of happiness is because of this. There are a whole bunch of millionaires and billionaires that have that money, that obtained that quote-unquote goal of what we think makes us happy, and they obtained it, and it turns out some of them end up committing suicide because they come to a conclusion that, I thought this made me happy, but it really didn't. I thought it made me happy, but I still feel crappy on the inside, right? So we know at the end of the day, money does not mean happiness. It means you're in a better situation financially, and you have an advantage tool-wise, because money's just like a tool that gives you access to more stuff, gives you permission to have access. That's all it really is, because at the end of the day, when you have things cost money. You have these other things that people hate that comes in every month called bills. Those things cost money. Just going on trips, food, all of this stuff costs money. Eventually, it's going to get to a point, they charge money for water. That's something common now, but back in the day it wasn't common, but it's going to get to a point, I believe they're going to charge for air. That's going to cost money. So everything that we see around us costs money outside of the intangibles, like time. You really can't buy that and stuff like that. And happiness actually fits in that category. You really can't buy that. If you think money is supposed to make you happy and stuff, like if you want $1 million, you'll feel good, not because of the money, just because of what it allows you to receive. Because think about it, if money had no value at all, then we wouldn't care if we had $1 million of it, like sand. If you had 1 million grains of sand, it's not gonna make you happy, because to the human society, we're taught that it has no value. And if you guys want to know, I'm right now driving in my car. That's what I be doing. I'm driving in my car, about to get some gas, so ignore the noises that you hear, right? I'm gonna get some gas actually right now. I'll be right back. Boomerang. All right, folks, I am back like a boomerang. That's like a saying I made up. All right, had this, I will be content. I will be complete. Well, let me break the ice for y'all. There will never be a point, and there's always going to be another, more and more of those in life. There's always going to be that saying and that feeling. Just to kind of illustrate a story that came out of my real life, a testimony is that, if you guys remember back when you were a kid and stuff, I like toys and stuff like that back in the day, and video games. And I will always be like, Mom, Dad, if you give me this, I will never, ever ask for another Give me this game, get me this toy, I'll never ask for another one again. And lo and behold, as I played with the toy or video game, whatever thing I wanted from my mom and dad, just give it time, because time is a great storyteller, right? Over time, I realized, man, I'm bored with this. On to something new. I've consumed everything from that material thing, that possession. Not realizing that, of course, I wouldn't realize as a young kid, but I'm realizing now is this: we're human beings, and we are always growing. We're always evolving, progressing, wanting to seek new adventures and stuff to please us and whatnot. The Bible states like we have this we have eternity placed in our hearts, and that eternity, that desire within us cannot be filled by physical things, because those things are finite to something that's placed inside of us that's infinite, if that makes sense. So always placing something that's external, physical, in that space, thinking it will fulfill you and make you happy, will always leave you in disappointment. You'll be entertained at first, but whoa, just give it time, because like I said, time is a great storyteller, and you'll be back at square one, just feeling depressed because you thought, oh, if I had this, it would make me complete, and then you got it and you realize you're not complete. So now you think there's something wrong with you, not realizing that it was just everything wrong with the object and the way you thought and perceived it to be. So instead of thinking happiness comes from external things, true happiness comes from internal things. To give you an idea, the things in life that money can't buy, those are things that ultimately will make us happy, like peace. Having a peace of mind or something, like, we live in a day and age where people are stressed out and always anxious about something. Anxiety is a killer. Stressing does not add a single hour to your life. It doesn't make you healthy or anything like that. Stress actually kills you. It doesn't bless you, it kills you, But when we look at intangibles, things that you can't buy, such as time, being able to have time can bring happiness. Some people's happiness is just having time off to themselves, time to think. Or one of the things that I think is important to attain happiness is being grateful. Because, we all want to go through our lives and be someone, do something great. Be someone great, do something great. But there's this saying that I love by a rapper named KB. He says, if you want to be great, put the E after T and add full to it. So grateful spelled Grateful. No, I'm sorry. Great is spelled Great. So if you want to be great, you're going to take that E. Okay, so it's Great. So take that E that's in between A, Great. Well, take the E that's between the A and the T. I can't spell right now because I'm not using paper. Put it after the T and add full, F-U-L, with one L to it. You do that when you switch from attitude of ungratefulness to gratefulness. Oh my gosh, life will be super duper awesome. Because what happens is, once you get to the point that everything you've ever needed is already on the inside, oh my gosh, it's gonna be something great. So basically, what was I? Just lost my thought. Oh my gosh, brain fart that just happened. Oh my gosh. All right, get back on track, Chris. What were you thinking about? So what happens when you're just talking about your thoughts and theories? Sometimes, you get lost in thought. I was talking about being grateful. Okay. All right. So the way America teaches you how to be happy is to take this, take that, take this, take that. Like, okay, take it. Sounds like Diddy's talking to you, right? Take that, right? If you're in this attitude of taking, meaning going back to external theory, you're going to forever be taking. But when you're giving, got a delivery. Sorry about that, guys. When you hear that noise, that means I'm doing Uber Eats and I got a delivery, and it happens. So bear with me as I take another break. And I'm back. So basically, here's the thing. There's happiness that we perceive that we get externally, and there's happiness that we perceive we get internally. Here's the thing. The happiness that we are taught to receive when we do it kind of externally is actually taking in disguise. So, like I said, society teaches you take, and get your happiness. But in actuality, we were made to be loving and giving creatures. So true happiness is found in giving. They say the blessing is the bigger blessings in the giving instead of the receiving, if that makes sense. So you're probably asking, Chris, okay, what are things that I can do to, receive happiness? Like, what actions can I take? Well, I mean, there's different ways you can receive happiness. Initiate. There's, acting, receiving happiness through an act, or receiving happiness through a service. So, a service could be, helping out people, or, like just listening to people. You have a friend that's going through something, and you're there just listening to their situation, and wow, you thought you had it bad until you talked to them, and you were just listening ear, and then you come out of you're like grateful, like, man, I thought I was going through some stuff, but wow, this person's really going through it. So you're able to sympathize with them and have compassion and stuff, and it makes you happy because you're able to be of service to someone, and that's something, like I said, that's paying you in gratefulness, gratitude, time, stuff that money can't buy. Or you could just receive happiness in doing an act, something that's simple, that could in a sense be a service, but it's just an act that you do on yourself. Like, I actually get happy washing dishes. You're probably like, what the heck? That doesn't make no sense. Like, I actually enjoy washing dishes. It's like a way for me to calm down and have peace. It's like a happy place of mine to wash dishes. I receive happiness in doing that and stuff like that. Not as a job or anything, but just washing dishes make me happy, and whatnot. So basically, the way to find a journey or route to get on the path of happiness in life, I realize, is that you have to dig deep inside of yourself. Find out why you're not happy. Most people aren't happy maybe because of the job they're at. We're all familiar with the term of, oh my gosh, I hate Monday, or thank God it's Friday. I love the weekend but hate the week. But not realizing every day of the week has the same 24 hours in them. They have different names, but the same 24 hours in them. And it's not that we really hate the day. We hate what that day brings, because we choose to place in that day, such as, like, if we have a job, we choose to work at a job. And it's not that we hate Mondays, we hate the job because we have to go to the job on Monday and whatnot. It doesn't bring us happiness. But I realize there's one thing about life. If you do not like a situation you're in, you have two options. Actually three options. Either you do something to fix it, you do nothing, or you leave. That's it. Most people, we end up staying in scenario 2, which is doing nothing and continue to sit there and be unhappy, and speak the language of unhappiness, which is complaining, and always going back to the past or something, or talking about things that happen that we can't change. So we always just talk about stuff that we used to cope, have like a pity party, like misery loves company kind of idea. When in actuality, man, if we decide, okay, this really makes me unhappy. I don't wake up in the morning. When I wake up, I'm not excited. I am depressed because I know I'm going to this job. And not realizing, when you're in a situation where you're constantly unhappy, if you don't get out of it, it can affect your health and whatnot. I'm realizing that. I'm like, crap, man, I'm waking up. Why am I not excited about Monday? Because I work at a job. I realize in the day I need to be my own boss and whatnot, but I need to do something about it and change it so I can get out of that scenario. So if I don't, then I'm literally putting myself in my own hell, and I'm the only reason why I'm not happy, really. So ultimately happiness is controlled by the individual itself, because it's something that comes from within, something that's already inside of you. It's like a seed. I look at it as a seed, a happy seed. But it's not going to grow unless you give it the proper things a seed needs to grow. So embracing okay, what makes you smile? Find out what makes you frown. Stay away from the frowny thing and be closer to the things that makes you smile. That's just something simple, routine, because the thing is, at the end of the day, most of us think money's gonna bring us happiness, and we, like I say, we try that route and then end up, oh wow, turns out it wasn't what I thought it was, and then suicide or something. Well, suicide is the worst thing, but like we end up just living a life of ungratefulness and become petty. And just when we see someone else who is happy, we hate on that. Like, if you've been single for so long, I've been single so long, I've been single so long that I've been single longer than the number one. That's how long I've been single. But you get to the point where you've been single so long and you're unhappy with it. So when you see a couple that is happy, you hate on them. It's a term I like to call appreciating. Something that, okay, you might be grateful for, but because it's not you just kind of hate on it at the same time, appreciating, and instead of appreciating, being grateful, like, oh my gosh, there is hope. Because I believe in, if there's someone that came from the same scenario as you that made it, then there's a possibility for you. There's a chance. There's hope. So instead of looking down on the couple, you should look up to them. Not look up to them, but appreciate what they have. And that leads you to a sense of gratitude, which can change your whole mindset about everything, right? So I'm learning that in order to be happy, I have to be first grateful. I have to first love myself, which is even bigger. Oh, that's big. You're like, wait, love yourself, Chris? What you talking about? I'm saying right now, take your arms, wrap around yourself, and hug yourself and love yourself, because the reason why people aren't happy is because they think they were dealt a bad hand of cards, but spoiler alert, it rains and pours on the righteous and the wretched. So no one's life is perfect. No one's a robot. We're all humans. We're going to have situations that's going to make us feel just bad and like, oh my gosh, life is not working in my favor. Life is going to have an up and downs. That's how life is. Happiness does not happen 24/7. If you find somebody that's happy 24/7, 365, there's something wrong with that person. Like I said earlier, that's the reason why there's other emotions like neutral, sad, mad, stuff like that. Then you have glad, not just all these other emotions. They happen throughout the course of life, because if they weren't there, you wouldn't appreciate and be grateful for being happy. So yes, I believe we're all wired to be inspired, wired, to love and be happy and stuff like that. But with the good, you need the bad, But now I'm learning even how to embrace the bad, because think about it. We're taught stuff like the darkness is not good and stuff like that. But think about it. If happiness is a seed and it's planted inside of all of us, what does the seed experience before it starts to flourish and sprouts, growth, and flourish? It's buried in the darkness, right? In the beginning of the Bible, before there was light, it was dark, So darkness is not always perceived as something bad. It could be a good thing, because it is a symbolism of, in a sense of resurrection, a new birth, a new things about to take place. So in order for you to be happy, if you're unhappy, you have to deal with the darkness, the time that you are in the darkness. You have to embrace it. Embrace it and address that it's there, and it's part of the process, right? And I don't mean embrace it as in, go out and start doing some bad stuff. Like, oh, darkness is good, do bad stuff. Like, no, that's not dark. That's like evil. Darkness is a part of life. You have night and day and night. Sun needs a break from time to time as well. But yes, that's what I truly believe to think. So in order to be happy, I think it all starts with you loving yourself. Find out who you are. Spend time with yourself. That makes me happy. Find out who I am. Someone telling me about myself. Sorry, yawning. Out here driving. It's like 9:55. But anyways, find out who you are. Find out where you came from. Understand that you aren't a mistake. Understand that you have purpose. You have value. All that cool stuff. And once you get a sense of identity of knowing who you are, oh my gosh, the happiness will definitely start to exude and come out. Because a lot of people who are unhappy are people who have no idea who they are. But people who know who they are, I'm not sitting there happy 24/7, 365, but they have more episodes of happiness than a person that don't know who they are, because the person that don't know who they are is trying to be somebody they're not. It's like trying to fit a square into a circle. If you were meant to be a circle, you're trying to be a square, you're going to be unhappy because you're not fitting in, you're not being what you were made to be, in other words. So that's why it's very important to find who you are, and your identity is very, very important. And becoming like the best version of you. Because I ultimately think that in order for someone to be happy, they just have to be on a track of constantly becoming the best version of themselves. That's just literally my definition of being happy. Another definition is always finding ways to optimize and becoming even a better version of yourself, because your growing never stops. It doesn't. We're constantly evolving. We're human beings. We're constantly becoming something, and that can be something that's leading towards us being more happy, or something that can lead to us being more ungrateful or sad or gloomy. So that's my question to y'all. What makes y'all happy? Please send me a voice message. It would mean a lot to me. I can't wait to listen to it. The only way you can do that, like I said, is on the Anchor app. So I need to find out what makes you happy. FYI, one thing that makes me happy is just spending time with people. The most precious currency in the world is relationships. I realize anytime that I'm investing into relationships in a giving way, I find so much happiness and joy in that. But when I'm actually taking or sucking the life out of a relationship or someone, then that's when I'm unhappy. Because I'll be using people instead of being of use to them. So one little exercise that I've just heard about that I'm going to be trying, that I want you to try, is this. Any and every person you encounter, find ways of leaving. Yarn break. Find ways of leaving that engagement with that person, that hangout, whatever you did with that person, with the mindset of how could I give more to them? How can I give more to them instead of taking more? Gary Vee looks at it as the 51-49 rule. Always give more than you've taken out. And if you live by that principle, oh my gosh. In other words, there's living and giving and faking and taking. You live by that principle, you will find so much joy and happiness, because this will impact the person's life in a good way. And it becomes contagious. Because guess what? We were made from love to love. We're made from love, and love to love. It's just simple as that. It's just simple as that, folks. We were made to love. So I think the guide to being happy is looking for ways to extend love, loving thy neighbor. It kind of comes back to the second commandment. But the second commandment doesn't happen unless you're following the first one, is loving God. And I think to love God is to love people. So it's kind of like a big circle flow dance, which is pretty cool. And those are my thoughts and theories on happiness. And I can go all night on this, but that's just my thought. I don't want to bore you guys anymore with that. But that's my thought. And what do you know? I got another Uber Eats request. Anytime you hear that sound, that means I'm doing deliveries and I got an Uber Eats request. So yeah, that's just what I wanted to share with you guys. It's my 2 cents. Yeah. So please, definitely support me by either following me or, copping some merch. I would really appreciate it. Because my goal is to become my own boss, so I can spend more time in investing on ways I can give back, giving my thoughts and theories to you guys, creating a community where it's safe for people to be themselves and express themselves. That's what makes me happy. Learning other people's story and going on an adventure with them, as I am on my own adventure as well. That's what happiness is to me. And it definitely will evolve and it'll grow into more things, but that's the goal. So definitely, I would appreciate that if you guys support me. Don't forget to go to www.chrisative.com, spelled KRISATIVE. And that's it. So thank you for tuning in to Thoughts and Theories, episode 5. Hopefully I will be speaking with you guys tomorrow. If not, then not tomorrow, then the next adventure after that. So stay awesome and repeat this after me. Repeat this. Say, I was made from love, in love to love. Say it again. I was made from love, in love to love. Take that with you, live that, embody it, and you will go far in life. All right. And yeah, that's it. It's a wrap. I'm out. Until next time. Peace.